let's talk about how most INFPs set goals and how INFPs should set goals. So I'm an INFP myself. I coach INFPs. I've coached over 100. I've made a bunch of self-development courses, and I talk to INFPs every day. I've been through this process of learning how to set goals in a way that actually works for my personality type. And I want to share with you what has worked for me and what has worked for my clients and customers as well, so that you can actually make progress in your life in meaningful ways, so that you don't look back 10 years from now like, I didn't do it. I thought I would be further along than I am now, and now I'm too far behind. Now I don't know what to do. Like, I'm stuck. My life is over. There's nothing I can do. And that might sound like an exaggeration, but you've probably thought that yourself, because I've been through it too. So how most INFPs set goals is we create this vague, dreamy vision first. You can't grab it. You can't grasp it. It's just so vague, but it's inspiring. And it makes sense why we do this. Our dominant function introverted feeling is not based on logistics or measurable objectives. It's, how do I feel about this? It's our soul communicating, resonating with us. And like, this feels good. This feels like the right choice. But as they say, fuzzy targets don't get hit. It's very difficult to say, this is what I want in my life, but I'll just know it when I feel it, And I've said it before, so you're not alone. It's okay. I understand. And also, it's a dreamy vision because we are not sensors, and who are more likely to say these are the tangible qualities of the thing that I want in my life. It's like the idea of success, whatever that is for you. The idea of having a peaceful life. The idea of living in a cabin in the woods with your cats and some tea or coffee. That's cool, but like, what are the actual tangible, measurable aspects of it? Might have not actually thought about it, right? And those steps come in with our inferior function, what I call the commander. This is extraverted thinking. This is about strategizing to get to our goals, to achieve things, effectiveness, efficiency, delegating tasks, measuring the progress, and saying, this worked, this didn't work, let's do more of what worked. That is an area of our psyche that has very little bandwidth. It feels exhausting. And the commander for us within our psyche, within our questing party of our mind, is like this maverick-like character. It runs away at the most inopportune times, or it's like buggy AI, as I always used to say, like gets stuck in a boulder or something like that. And you're just like, how do I help you? Come back. It's just like, it's so frustrating sometimes. And yet we aspire to bring that onto the team. We aspire to regain control over our lives. And because of that, we get overwhelmed by these possibilities. Our explorer, our auxiliary function, extroverted intuition, is about connecting the dots, innovating, imagining what if, connecting all these different possibilities and ideas, and leaping from one action or idea to another. And saying, okay, I did this thing, or I have this thing. How can I use it? How can I implement it into the plan? This thing happened. Well, what opportunity came from that? We do that a lot. I was talking to a handful of members within the Evolve community about how the explorer never wants to stop. It's always going to get new ideas. It's always going to go down new tangents and gain new possible threads and ideas, jump through different portals and go to other places. And that's a lot of fun. But also, when there are so many ideas, it becomes very difficult to decide what is the next best thing to do. And because we feel that we need to feel through it, this will feel right. I know it'll be right because I will feel good about it. It's very hard to calibrate because you have to be in it. You have to be doing it in order to feel it. It's also very difficult to measure. And so when our motivation wanes and fades, or we are not accomplishing the goal in the way that we think we should be at that time, or we just get overwhelmed and we don't know how to measure our progress, we don't know if we're making any progress, then we get hard on ourselves. Then we get down on ourselves and we beat ourselves up and we say, you're not meant for this. The world isn't meant for you, and you're not meant for this goal. And that's it. Game over. And we take it as a critique on our identity. Not on the actions that we're taking or the skills or capabilities that we have, but we see ourselves as a failure. And that is not helpful. So how should INFPs set goals? Well, first, as we've talked about, the soul, introverted feeling, is very important for us. So it would make sense to set goals tied into our core values. Not what other people say we should be doing, not what the world at large is pushing us to do, but what feels good to us, what is motivating to us, and deeper than that, what is tied to our values. What is that thing that is so important to you in your life that you would do it endlessly? Even if you weren't getting paid for it, probably some sort of art or creation, self-exploration, going for walks in nature or something like that. Helping another person, mediating in some way, listening to somebody's emotional cries and helping them understand themselves. You would probably do that endlessly anyway. So tie your goals to those things that you really care about. Caring, creativity, grit, growth, kindness, leadership. Whatever lights you up, find that, label it in some way, and say, this is my goal. This needs to be woven into all of my goals. And then you will feel more motivated to do it. Even when you don't feel like it, you'll say, well, this is actually tied to me being a more creative, caring, kind person. Okay, all right, I can start it. I can do a little bit of it now. And then you start getting into that momentum, build momentum, because it's tied into something that's important to you. And the next thing that we need to do is we need to break down our big dreams into those next steps. You have your big master quest. Slay the dragon, save the world, save the princess or prince or whatever. Break it down into what is half of that? What is half of that? What is half of that? And get into this really, really small goal. Well, my first quest is to wake up. Okay. My first quest is to wake up a little bit earlier and sit down with my notebook and just write some ideas. Because that habit is going to build into maybe becoming more prolific as a writer or an author or a creative person, giving time and care and appreciation to that creative aspect of yourself. What are the little micro habits, the things that you would need to do in order to emerge into and become the type of person that you want to become? So start at that identity. If you want to be an author, well, an author writes a lot. So that is the mini goal. Yeah? A musician plays music. So practice those little habits and your goal will more naturally come about, blossom and bloom. And you're also going to want to create gentle accountability systems. Not because you're a baby or you can't handle it, but like you want people to support you and you want to support yourself. You need to support yourself just like you would support somebody else. So when you succeed, when you do something well, good. Applaud yourself for it. Find friends, family, a community to support you in that and to cheer you on. Someplace where you can share your wins and people are like, yes, you did it. Good job. You showed up. What did you learn about yourself? Actually bring in some real deep learning. And when you don't do it, well, look at it as the actions that you took were not the ones that would help you get to your goal. So what different actions could be taken in order for you to get there? Bring in the explorer, bring in that creative thinking of like, well, this didn't work, so how could I make it work next time? It's a lot easier and more helpful than, well, it didn't work, so you fail and you suck. That doesn't motivate me, probably doesn't motivate you. If you like the whip, then I guess go for it, but that is not what works for me. And again, celebrate those small wins consistently. When you show up, when you wake up early, when you work on that thing, or you sat down and you wrote 2 sentences and you normally don't write any sentence, that's 200% more. How can you do more of that? That kind of thinking will support you in growing and reaching your goals. In the short term, maybe it feels less magical than imagining that big, grandiose goal that changes the world. But in the long term, you actually achieve your dreams and you actually make progress towards those things that are important to you. And you learn how you set goals. You learn how you achieve goals. And you learn how great it feels when you are becoming more of who you can become.